So, Jill, one of the things we do when we talk to people is we explain to them how important it is to plan, not just for death, but for incapacity. That's why it's important to have a power of attorney and a healthcare surrogate. And what we talk to people about is what they want to avoid is a guardianship because of the nature of the guardianship process. So why don't you talk a little bit about what a guardianship is and what the guardianship process is?
Guardianship is a long and difficult process, but sometimes a necessity, where basically you're naming somebody to stand in the shoes of an individual who's incapacitated.
Well, who names them?
Who names them? Well, the court names them. So what basically happens is a person petitions the court, and it's a two-prong, because there's two petitions. One is a petition for incapacity, and the second one is a petition for guardianship. In the petition for incapacity, you are asking the court to remove some or all of the rights of an individual. And once those rights are removed, if they're removed, then a guardian, which is the person who steps in the shoes, is named for them. And the guardian can be a neighbor, a friend, a relative, or there's something called a professional guardian. There's many of those across the state. They're actually licensed by the state of Florida under the state of Florida, and they're able to take care of individuals just like a relative.
And what are the responsibilities once a guardian's appointed, assuming a person's found incapacitated and guardian's appointed, what's their responsibilities?
Great. I mean, unfortunately, you're stepping into the shoes of that person. So depending on if you were appointed, there's guardian of the property and guardian of the person. If you're guardian of the person, you are responsible for making medical decisions for that individual. If there's no healthcare surrogate, you're responsible for their lifestyle, their friends, their social. And if you are guardian of the property, you are responsible for their assets. You are responsible for making sure everything gets paid. You have an accounting to the court. In all cases, there's something called an annual report, which you have to file every year with the court, which tells the court what's going on in the guardianship. And yes, the court has jurisdiction and pays attention to every single thing that goes on to the guardianship.
Well, thank you. Guardianship's a big topic, and we're going to have other videos on it also. But this is great for setting the basics of what the guardianship is and what the process entails. Oops.